campers. While we're gathering around the campfire, we just want to let you know we are not what you would call experts. What we do have is a love for researching and discussing the lore of cryptids, creatures,
and an occasional spooky woman that can eat our soul.
So if you are in need of immediate help with the chupacabra in your yard, please consult someone else.
Also, this podcast isn't for kids. These campfire stories can contain graphic and explicit content that may not be suitable for young campers, so listener discretion is advised.
Hey campers, my name is Kimmy and I'm here with my co-host Ryan.
Hello guys, welcome back to Aloreing, our folklore podcast where we tell you the history and stories of different legends and lore from around the world.
Wow, sorry, I got distracted. I look so orange.
You
like
do. You're I'm not gonna say
woo!
a little Trumpy over there.
No, I'm looking a little Oompa Loompa-y. You can say it. Like Jersey Shore 90s.
Yeah, snooky-ish.
Oh,
Can you tell that I had our episode layout open today? Because
Oh, is that why you got it right this
time? Because I said the title correctly? Yeah.
It's okay. I also had it open. I give you a hard time, but
yeah.
I never not have it open, so... Oh, is there a way to do like a night mode? Wait a minute. Hold up. Oh,
there you
there
are.
We go.
Hello. There's
we
a
go.
normal looking Kimmy.
Woo! Yeah, we got there. It took a minute, but we got there. Oh, that's pretty bright too. Oh, wow. Okay.
It looks like you got like a rave going on over there.
Oh. Strobe light warning.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that, you guys. Sometimes, like, Ryan and I are so prepared. And by Ryan and I mean I'm really prepared.
Yeah, I'm never prepared. Ever.
And today we were both very much off the boat, holding on to the life ring.
We had a pizza party at work today, and I got home and I was like, I regret eating as much pizza as I did, so I was late.
Oh, I respect that.
Yeah.
Do you want that to be your Aloreing thing?
No.
Your pizza party in capitalistic America.
We had a pizza party at work.
They really value me as an employee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, speaking
what's
of
your actual thing?
Yeah. So I feel like this is like the 18th time this has been my Aloreing thing, but this is my old microphone. Boom, gone. Because I got a new one, and hopefully it sounds a lot better. Because I keep buying stuff, and it keeps getting marginally better. But hopefully Chris will appreciate the smaller amount of editing he will have to do, potentially. Or the other possibility is this is way worse, and then Chris is going to look at me at work and say, why'd you do this, Ryan?
Chris, listen, if he puts you through hell with the new mic, let me know, and I will send you a sticker. Because
for your pain and suffering.
Mike is 1010. See, we're good. We're all good. No, I think it's funny because I was like, do you want to do this podcast? Like, we're going to start with nothing and not able to put anything into it except our blood, sweat, and tears from our college education. And you were like, yeah. And each time we record a new episode, you're like, so I got a new thing.
Yeah, so 4 microphones, 2 soundboards. What else? I don't know. I don't even want to think about all the stuff I bought for this podcast.
Do you want to talk about the merch you've gotten?
No, not really. So what did you find alluring this weekend?
I'm just here to give Ryan more purchasing anxiety.
Yeah.
And I say that as I've been buying things for my annual Potter party, so I really can't
Yeah.
say shit. I think my big alluring thing is oh, I don't want to talk about that. That's a little TMI. I'll probably talk to you about it later because that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
I invested in some like massage rollers for like after I do weights and workouts.
Nice.
And let me tell you, my life has changed. I have like this whole little physical therapy box thing going up in my room because bless my mother's beautiful soul, she was a physical therapist for a while. So she kind of just like has all these like secrets and how to like heal yourself after a workout kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I have like an electric massager. I have all these different rollers for different body parts. I have a pressure point mat. I have like 3 different cream gels.
Wow.
And like all these different patches, and I have one like for my period, and then I have one just for pain, and I was like, I'm set. I am A-okay here. And I got all my vitamins because I had to switch my vitamins due to personal stuff going on, and I'm just like feeling healthy for the first time in like 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Nice.
And it's so great. I like normally I'll like wake up early, do my exercise, make food, go to work, come home, crash and have a 2-hour nap, wake up, and then keep going again, and then fall asleep.
Yeah. You're preparing for the winter bod. Right?
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what's happening.
Gotcha.
And I've had a winter bod for it's been. Female bodies are rough, man. I don't know why I picked to play life on hard, but I'm not about it. This was a bad decision on my part. It
was a weird call. I don't know.
It was weird. I don't know. It's like when you start like a Final Fantasy game and you're like, I want to challenge myself, and you get 20 minutes in and you're like, this is the worst mistake I've ever made, and you see your partner playing the game having the time of their life on medium, and you're like, why didn't I just do that? So that's where I'm at right now with everything.
I'm trying to figure out how to turn that into a transition.
I don't know.
Speaking of watching
Final Fantasy, that
speaking
works.
of fantasy,
there you go.
Let's get into the episode. I still don't have a soundboard, so cue campfire sounds.
Is that a fucking lighter?
All right. Hello, everybody. I hope you liked the intro. So, as is tradition, I'm going to try and read a little poem here at the beginning. This one, much like last week, is a little Celtic-y. So I'm going to do my best. But how shall I, my young son, know when thou hatten han him far away me? The one who wears the chain, oh God, Manga the Selkies, she shall be. What are we talking about, Kimmy?
That was really good.
Thank you.
So you've been told to be wary of the siren's song and their beauty. You are also aware that mermaids are very dangerous when hungry, and they will drag sailors to their watery grave. But did you know that there's another type of mermaid creature that doesn't hunt humans? This mythical creature is known to actually run away due to humans hunting them down. So now it is time for our episode illustration. And
hold up. I downloaded them.
Is it
I
go?
upload them?
Did you upload them?
No, I sure didn't, Kimmy.
Right.
But that's fine.
Well, while he's doing
we're going off the rails today. So just please continue.
Yeah. So while he's figuring that out, can you figure it out if I keep talking?
Oh yeah. No, I already.
Okay, so
there. Okay, there it is.
there we go. Okay, I was like, I could bullshit however long. I just need a time frame.
There it is. It's
Woo!
so pretty. I like
So-
that one. That's so cute with a little seal on the head.
Thank you. So this is when, if you are watching us on YouTube, you can see the illustration for this week's episode. You can also see this on our social media channels. And this is when you guys are like, wow, Kim, you're such an amazing artist, and you help fuel my ego.
And you help fuel your ego.
Oh, thank you. I'm so humbled. It means so much to me.
No, that is cute though. I'm gonna need one of those.
Oh, is it? I know. I have a bunch more prints to send out, so
Yes.
we're good. Thank you to our lives. See, this is why I love live streaming. Look at that instant validation. I am so humbled. Okay, now let me step off my high horse. So this week we'll be talking about Selkies, a sea-like mermaid known to be seen in the Northern Isles of Scotland. The legend of these nautical creatures have been around for some time and continue to grow in popularity to this very day. So, diving deep into the origins of this creature, little pun there.
I'd like everyone to know that she wrote pause for pun in the show notes.
That's for you, Ryan, so you can really absorb what I'm talking about. There was another, because it's water stuff, you know.
I got it.
So it points to Celtic and Norse mythology about a mythological being capable of, I can't say this right, thermanthropy. So it's from changing from a seal to a human by shedding their skin. As time went on, more stories and encounters of this transforming seal popped up in Scotland, Ireland, Norway, and even Greenland. With all these encounters led to many different theories of how Selkies came to be. Here are a few of the most common ones. So there's a few different ones. This one I thought was really interesting because I just recently learned about it. So one belief is that Selkies have been around for centuries due to family heritage. So I'm going to say some family names. And if your name is one of them, you can be Selkie. As a little fun fact. So from West Ireland, there are the Conleys, O'Sullivans, O'Flaherty. I know that's wrong. Flaherty.
I know someone with Flaherty.
Oh, you may know a Selkie. They got some Selkie blood.
Yeah.
And the problem is I hear it in my head, but I can't pronounce it.
McNamara?
Yeah, McNamara. So if that's your last name, you got some Selkie blood. And from Scotland, there's the McPhees of Colonsay Island and the McCodrone clan of North Uist. I totally butchered all of those. So, fun little Selkie fact. Now you can brag about it. So, though it is unclear how much Selkiness is part of these bloodlines, the physical proof tends to be the hands and feet having some type of like webbing or anything to it. So I thought that was actually just like a pretty cool, like, because I feel there's not a lot of actual connections to this stuff. It's more like word of mouth kind of thing. So also think of it like when people take what is it that every Utah white kid is really into right now? It's those like tests they take to learn about their ancestry. You know what I'm talking about?
The ancestry DNA thing?
Yeah, that one. Think of it like that, where it may only be like a small percentage. You may be like 12% Selkie, but you're still Selkie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, another belief is that these creatures were formed from magic. So, when it comes to magic, it's believed that witches or sorcerers would curse people and transform them into Selkies. So, the human-like energy of these seals possessed made it clear that there had been some type of magic at play. And throughout the Enamore Islands, it was believed witches had the ability to accidentally transform themselves into Selkies when working on spells.
Just
So-
add a little too much spice, and then they're like, shit.
I like to think it's a little too much salt water.
Yeah.
Because it feels right.
All right, this recipe calls for a squid. I got an octopus, close enough, and then, bam. Salty.
Yep, that's it. It's actually a seal they put in,
Oh.
and that's where the problem
That's where they
occurs.
went wrong. Been there, am I right?
You're like hashtag millennial problems right there when your spell goes wrong.
Yeah.
And then, so continuing off the whole magic thing, the idea of these creatures being human transformed by magic also has ties to royalty and the Norwegian king who ruled over a good chunk of the Scottish islands. There are rumors that the seals were actually children cursed by witches and sorcerers to be Selkies. Or some believe that the seals were transformed to be human spies for the kings to see if the people were loyal or not. So, I think that's really cool, is like everyone just had this universal idea that magic was at play with these creatures.
Yeah.
And then finally, what's a human sea-like creature story without some tragedy? Throughout Scotland, Scandinavia, and Ireland, whenever someone drowned, it's believed they would be reborn as Selkies. Which is sad, but
That's like,
here we are.
sounds cool in concept until like someone starts like drowning people trying to make mermaids.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's where it becomes...
In theory, that's sick. In practice,
Yeah, it makes for a good story, but it's very Hollywood. It's a very Hollywood element, is a good
Yeah.
word for it. And then, so, Selkies, so I want to shift a little. Selkies also possess many similarities to other creatures such as mermaids, sirens, and swan maidens in other cultures. But did you know that there are also other creatures Selkies commonly get mistaken for? So this image is really cool because it's just a bunch of different Selkie stamps, which I want and I wish I could buy for our mail. But
That'd be
until
awesome.
that day. Aren't they so pretty?
I mean,
I,
can you
like,
use,
gushed
fake
over it.
stamps on mail? Like, obviously, you got to put like the real stamps, but like,
Well, I could on our postcard. Ooh, Ryan, you beautiful genius. I can put it. We have like
here
the
for it.
postcard I put in the envelope,
huh?
and I could put a
Mhm.
fake one there.
Mhm.
It's all coming together.
what
It's
I'm here
so
for.
beautiful. So here are some of the creatures that get mistaken for Selkies. Okay. So one of the most common are the fin folk. So without diving too deep into their lore, because I may want to do that in the future, it's important to know they are very similar in many ways, but they are still different. So the biggest thing is they both can transform, they both have the magical ability to do so, but over time, the Selkies became more of a kind-hearted, free-spirited creature, where the Finfolk stayed ominous and dangerous. So that's the difference between the two of them. And then the next one is, I want to say it wrong, Merrow? And it's a mermaid from Irish folklore, and some legends say she is a seal woman. So instead of being able to transform from human to seal, which I'll get into, she's top half human lady, bottom half fish lady kind of thing.
So that's more like common, like aerial mermaid.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so traditional mermaid, except like a fishy tail, it's a sea lion tail.
Oh.
So that's the only
Sick.
difference. Oh, and another thing is they tend to have dark hair too. That's another important part with them. And I don't know why I didn't write it down, but it is true.
Set it in.
Yeah, and then the next is the folk tale. That word. Listen, you guys. Today was we were hanging on to the raft behind the boat day, and I didn't write my little how to pronounce things afterwards. So I apologize, Chris, and everyone else for going on this word scramble journey. I'm trying. So anyway, it's some type of name for the folktale which translates to the seal skin, and it was published by John Arneson. And the story is about a man from some place I can't pronounce who forced a woman transformed from a seal to marry him after taking possession of her sealskin. She discovers the key to the chest in her husband's usual clothes when he dresses up for a Christmas outing. And the seal woman is reunited with the male sea who was betrothed to her before she was forced into this marriage. So it's believed that the seal merfolk in this tale are referred to as sea-dwelling elves called Marmeneller. Marmeneller? Yeah, if we say it enough times, it's true. So
being folklore people, we're really bad at the names. But, you know, here we are.
I've been better, but my enthusiasm should totally conquer everything I say.
It's weird how many, like, types of mermaids there are. So this
so
one,
many.
it still looks the same as the last one?
So this one looks more like a Selkie, but they're more elf-like. So think of like D&D class if you were to mix like an aquatic character with a human and they had a love child. Is a really good way to think of it. I did that too.
Yeah.
I did that. First of all, I did that first. So
probably. That was the Curse of Strahd, remember?
yes, and where you were my brother and you killed yourself because you didn't want to be an archer, right? That's the one, right?
Well, when you put it that way, it sounds a lot worse. But yes, that's basically what happened. Yeah.
I hope our DM listens to this episode so badly.
Sometimes
and if you do,
be cool. Don't do it.
He literally self-sacrificed himself, and he was like, "Take me now," and it was my character. I was badass. First of all, I was I was a necromancer, half elf, half human, of course, right? And I had to use it was like your hand or something that I kept on me the whole time as motivation to kill Strahd. It was great. So
yeah,
you didn't die for nothing.
Sorry.
For everyone that likes D&D, we hope you enjoyed
that. Good times.
That was such a fun campaign.
Yeah.
Anyway, lots of different ones. So there are many different ones, and so it's really easy to confuse what Selkies are, but as long as you know they're the most common, most popular sea lion human transforming creatures of the Northern Isles of Scotland, you're good. So on to the next one. This is a cool statue. I think we'll be fine because you can barely see nips and it's a statue and it's art, but
I'm just gonna go past it just in case.
Okay. When I edit, I'll put a censor bar or something because America's sensitive about the nips. I don't know.
We'll probably be fine, but just in case.
Well, just in case. You never know anymore, right?
Let's go back.
So, I was like, should I put in but it's so pretty. Yeah. Just pause it real quick there.
Yeah.
And you'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Selkie comes from Scots, and Selkie is from the word selch, which means gray seal. So this would explain the connection it has with Selkies and their ability to shapeshift from human form to seal form. And as legends of the seal-like humans spread, so did a bunch of the different ways to pronounce and spell it. Since most of them are different ways to just say Silky or Selkie, I've narrowed it down a bit. Do you want to start out, Ryan?
Sure, we got Selkie folk.
Oh, Selkie folk.
Selkie, but with an L.
Selkie.
Psyche.
Psyche? Oh, say Elkie.
Silkey with a Y.
Selkies.
and, much like Selkie folk, sea folk.
Oh, there we go. That was a
Yeah.
little bit easier than normal.
Quite a bit easier, yeah.
So overall, if you say something along the lines of silky with an accent, everyone will know that you're talking about these magical creatures. So, knowing that, I'm going to hand it off to Ryan so he can tell you some of the legends surrounding these beautiful beings.
And oh boy, are we in for some wild stories here. All right. So this one is the Orkney folktale, The Selkie's Wife. All right. The man of Westness in North Ronaldsay went down to the shore one day to gather shellfish for bait for his fish hooks. Suddenly, he heard the sounds of laughter in the distance. He followed the sound and saw that it was a group of Selkie folk, sunning themselves on a flat rock. He knew that some seals could take off their skin and become human, and he could see their empty skins laying nearby. The Selkie girls were beautiful, and Westness wanted to win one as his wife. That's how it works, you know?
Yeah, because that's how marriage works.
He crawled quietly towards the skins before running through a pool of water to reach the skins. The Selkie folk panicked, rushing to grab their skins and dive into the sea. But Westness was able to snatch one from the shore and walked home carrying it. He could hear the sound of sobbing behind him, and turning around, there was the most beautiful woman that he'd ever seen. She begged him to return her sealskin, and she couldn't return to the sea without it. But he refused. She had to live with him as a wife.
Okay.
Oof.
You knew I was going to interject.
Uh-huh.
Because, listen,
Listen.
this is not how you get a woman.
It's not?
It's not.
Oh, man. Kimmy,
Have you been
I
doing
got
this,
bad
Ryan?
news for you.
Right, I just see Ryan in his video push down
Yeah.
some Selkie skins off his
Throw
bed.
this skin away that I got back here.
You're like, ah. Eee.
Yeah. I think this is going to be another episode about consent.
Yeah, I do have a
Anyway.
little section of that.
Oh,
Because,
good. All right.
yeah.
You beat me to it. All right. Where was I? Okay. The couple got on well, and she bore him 7 children, 4 boys and 3 girls, all as lovely as their mother. Things went well on the farm, and they had everything that they needed. But there was a sadness in her as she longed to return to her own folk in the sea. She would sit for hours gazing out to sea with a faraway look in her eyes, and the tears would trickle down her cheeks. One day, Westness took his 3 eldest sons to go fishing. The Selkie wife sent her 3 eldest children to gather shellfish for bait. Her youngest girl was left at home, as she had hurt her foot. The Selkie wife started to tidy the house, but she was really searching for her lost skin. Her little girl asked her what she was looking for. Her mother said that she was looking for a lovely skin to make the girl a pair of shoes to soothe her sore feet. The child smiled and said that she knew where Bonnie's skin was hidden.
First of all, the way the story is written sounds absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, if you
'Cause-
came in late and didn't know we were talking about like a seal skin, you would be like, what is happening? So hello to the people who've joined late.
We're talking about skins and finding them for children's shoes.
Yeah, the people who skip halfway through the podcast to see what it's about, and then they pop in while I'm talking about the daughter knew where the skin was hidden.
Folklore at its finest.
Yeah. So
All right.
carrying on. The Selkie wife stopped what she was doing, frozen by this news, and asked where it was. Her daughter told her that when her dad thought she was asleep one day, he took a lovely silvery skin down from the top of the wall under the slope of the roof, just above the bed. The Selkie wife ran to the place and took down her stolen skin. She kissed her child goodbye with tears in her eye and ran down to the shore. She pulled on her skin with a cry of joy and dived into the sea. A large male seal swam to her, and they met lovingly, for he was her Selkie husband. Just then, she saw Westness and her son's boat sailing around the headland. She swam towards it, and lifting the skin from her face, said, "Goodbye," or "Good man of Westness."
You gotta do a voice. I'll do a voice.
"Good man of Westness, farewell to thee. I liked you well, you were good to me, but I loved far more my man of the sea." With that, she covered her face, and the two seals dived down into the deeps, and they were seen no more. Westness searched the shore for the rest of his days, looking for his Selkie wife, but he never saw her beautiful face again.
First of all, where was that voice when we were playing the Monster Camp dating game?
It didn't fit any of the characters.
Nah, no.
Yeah.
We gotta find a way to use that one.
That was my Monty Python British accent.
Beautiful. And second of all, this guy took a married wife.
Yeah, that's awkward. It's a little sad she left her kids, but I get it, you know? Like,
Well, she was forced.
yeah, no, that's fair.
So,
Yeah.
it's like if people are forced to do things they don't want to do,
Oof.
they don't. Anyway, it's fine. Go listen to
Carry
our
on.
last
Yeah.
episode,
Yeah.
and you'll get my rage. Okay, on to the next problematic story, because I feel like that's the path we're taking.
Yeah. Speaking of problematic, this is the Irish Selkie tale. So a man by the name of Thady Rua O'Dowd, a clan chieftain, never trust a man named Thady Rua O'Dowd first off. A clan chieftain was tasked with finding himself a bride upon becoming a clan leader. But finding a bride was no cakewalk, as we know, boys, am I right? He realized it was actually extremely difficult, and even though he met many women, he just could not make up his mind.
He was on medieval Twitter. I'd
We've
like
all
to imagine.
Yeah, you know.
I like to imagine medieval Twitter is just pigeons holding up poorly drawn portraits of the females,
Yeah.
and they just will shoot them to one side or send them out to summon the woman.
Exactly. He was having what is the medieval equivalent of just having too many Tinder matches. That's what was going on here. So, in an attempt to clear his head and make a decision, he walked along the beach. That is when he stumbled upon a beautiful naked woman combing her hair.
Nice.
And next to her, a seal-like cloak. Well, Thady knew the legends of the sea people and their beauty, and since that's all he cared for, he quickly snatched her cloak to hide it away. You noticing a trend here? He then professed his love for her and how he desired to marry her. So here's what happened, Kimmy. This man probably never saw a naked person before. That was the first time. And he's like, yeah, that's it. So we're talking medieval times, you know?
That's more than just the ankle.
Yeah.
He was like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, whoo! Is that a shoulder?
Is that a shoulder?
Yeah.
Everyone from my middle school, am I right?
Yeah, this is actually a Utah Irish chieftain.
It's not far off.
So this
that's so
Selkie,
depressing.
who went by the name Eve, wished to swim into the sea, but without her fishtail, she had no choice but to marry him. The two got married, and together the two ruled the lands and raised, you guessed it, 7 children. But,
why are they forcing them to have so many damn children?
to be fair, there wasn't a lot else going on back then. They didn't have like TV and stuff, you know. It's like
They had pigeon Tinder. I think
Yeah.
they could have had more
Yeah.
fun with that.
Yeah.
If I had to pick between 7 children in the Middle Ages
Ooh,
and pigeon Twitter,
gracious.
I would pick that one.
But unfortunately, 7 children was never Eve's dream, and the poor girl longed for the sea. Now, throughout the years, Thaddy kept the cloak hidden away for Eve to never find it. That way she would say, that way she would stay. However, secrets don't stay secrets for long. And for one of the children, this is a very similar story. Thaddy sneaking away to check on it, the children told their mother of the bag of gold father had. Eve knew in her heart it was her cloak, and when her husband was away from home, she went to get what belonged to her.
Good
Now,
for her.
she loved her children more than life, but knew she could not take them with her. So she transformed 5 of her 7 children into rocks, holding them tightly as she swam away for her life on land. Having it be said, she went back to her family to live with the life she desired. With her 5 rocks. I want to know what the other 2 children did.
Thank you. I
turned into rocks. Were they her favorite or were they her least favorite?
That was the other thing.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, she turned 5 of them into rocks. Now, were the other 2 present? Did the other 2 go with the father? Did she just look at the other 2 and go, you know, I don't really want this.
Don't
you know what I mean?
Take you to the ocean. So.
She's like, listen, we're gonna be honest. What sign would do that? I'll do me. As a Pisces mother, I have a lot of fire sign with my Sagittarius children, and I just can't do an unevolved Leo right now. So you're gonna stay with your dad, and you'll figure it out. You'll have good plot. You have main character hair. You'll be great. I'm going to leave you now and turn your siblings into rocks because they just get it, okay? And then...
When you
Oh my
go
God.
off on your
Sorry. My astrology
rant, I just feel like you're not speaking English anymore. Like, I know everything you're saying probably is right, but I'm just like, there's no way like that's a real thing. You know, like
One day I'm gonna read your birth
Sagittarius
chart.
falling would just never turn 5 children into a rock.
I want to read your birth chart one day, and I'm going to scare you with how much the universe tells me about you.
I'm a Taurus leaning.
Capri sun rising.
Capri sun rising, otter pop falling. All right. Well,
That's
I fooled you guys. We don't have an ad. This is a live show. That's going to get put in post. Don't you worry. But
holy.
this is our
Holy
ad.
shit,
Look
Ryan.
at this, guys. Ready?
Uh,
Ready for this?
What's our ad?
Look at this hat. Oh, look at this! Look at this sick ass hat. Bigfoot says, "Leave no trace." Kimmy made it. It's part of our Bigfoot collection. I got a shirt. I got 2 shirts. I got a hat. You should get a hat too. Our hats are sick. Counselor Mothman would want you to get a hat. All I'm saying, go to aloreing.com/shop and
Go get a hat.
go get a hat. Go get some stickers. Sponsor the show.
We got shirts. What else did I throw out
Be
there?
cracking. I don't know what that means, but get a hat and you will be cracking. Am I right? MH gets it. Hey,
Crack-a-lackin'.
heyo.
New proposal. You just forget the ads each time and have to just figure it out.
I kind of like just winging it. I'm gonna be honest.
From now on, I'll just put a picture up of things to market, and you just have to bullshit it for our live stream.
That's my job. I'm the hat guy. I sell hats. The drip is fire. MH, the drip is fire. Now, if you don't want to have to steal someone's skin to get a bride, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to aloreing.com/shop. You're going to head to the Bigfoot collection. You're going to get yourself a hat.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
fine.
I don't know where my water's at. Usually I use ad breaks to drink water, but we're just going to roll on through. That's all right. Alrighty, everybody.
I'll go to my section while you gather
No, it's
what's
fine.
left
We're
of your...
back. I don't need water. It's only a heat wave.
Why do these episodes always get so much more chaotic after the 30-minute mark?
Because I am just never prepared, Kimmy. That is right.
Oh, whoa! All right. After those hat ads, welcome back, campers. We hope you enjoyed that little
We
break.
should just leave that as the ad. Sorry to
Yeah.
derail us again. Let's not, Chris. Don't cut that out. Leave that in. All right.
Leave that in. Do you still do a space? Because we got our promo
We've gotta use
swaps.
the real ads, but
But do that. But also put that in there because it feels right.
feels right.
Chris, you're a magic wizard editor. I know you'll figure it out.
He's got it. I'm not worried about it.
He's got it. So welcome back, campers. We hope you enjoyed that beautiful hat break. I want to tell you about the appearance and history of these beautiful creatures. So, here's a beautiful picture of a Selkie drawing. So, when it comes to Selkies, they have two different forms, a human and a seal form. So when in seal form, they look just like your everyday adorable sea lion. You honestly wouldn't be able to tell if they were Selkies or not. Except if you can kind of like sense their human energy, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And in human form, they are known to be breathtaking with long black hair and hypnotizing eyes. There are slight differences whether a Selkie is female, male, or child, though. And this affects both their human form and their seal form. So, starting with the male Selkie, contrary to popular belief, male Selkie are actually more common than the females, and many old tales tell of these handsome sea-like beings. So, in human form, very handsome. We're talking tall, dark, and handsome, like each check box marked kind of thing. And they're also known to have great... What? Oh, I missed what you said. Because I was
this guy.
like Ryan over here.
Yeah.
Selkie number one.
That's what they call me. Selkie boy.
I will make a shirt
Unrelated, but
that just says hashtag Selkie number one for you. So, plus, they are known to also have great seduction powers over human women. So, when they are in seal form, they typically are much larger than the female Selkies as well. So that's how you can kind of tell the difference.
gotcha.
Female Selkies, like the male Selkies, are very alluring and have very seductive to human men. Unlike male Selkies, they don't go out of their way to seek a partner. They are more free-spirited, much like a Sagittarius in their 20s that doesn't want to be tied down, which means absolutely nothing to Ryan. So.
No, I get that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Why, in all of the stories I found, is it only the female Selkies sunbathing? Do the male Selkies tend to stay in the water?
No. They. I'll get into it
Okay.
a little bit more, but it's also because when I googled male Selkies, there was a much different side of the internet that I stumbled upon. So
And we'll get to that later. Don't you worry.
Oh, don't you worry about that. And now, on to one of my favorite parts is not only do I love Selkies, but I love babies. And there are such things as baby Selkies. So my heart absolutely melted when I learned this was a thing, because I really don't think about it a lot. Like, I don't think of there being a baby Baba Yaga, if that makes sense, or like a baby Mothman, which would be very cute. But they got like actual explanations for these. So Selkies born between a human and a Selkie will have webbing between their fingers and toes made of horn-like material. So they're raised in the sea, it's left alone to help them with swimming. But if they're raised on land, it's cut as the child grows up. So they can like have normal whatever
That's
fingers,
why they gotta
right?
turn them into rocks.
I
They
forgot.
lost that webbing.
Oh, I forgot about that. Wow. Oh, that was pretty great. What happens to them once they get back? There's so many questions that just leads to. So,
I think they're just rocks forever, personally, but
does she glue googly eyes onto them? So then they're like pet rocks, but they're her children, so she like
Rocks?
labels them?
people?
Yeah. Does she get her pet rocks confused with one another? Like,
Goodness gracious, I didn't think about that. That's
no,
terrible.
then there's even more questions.
Yeah.
All right, so now from the story and information we've discussed, it's pretty clear Selkies aren't malicious creatures at all. So they are kind, free-spirited ones known for their ability to transform from a human to a seal. So to transform from a seal to a human, they will remove their seal skin cloak, which is unique to them. So it's as unique as your own fingerprint kind of thing. They also can't turn human too often. So some lore says that they turn human once every 7 years because their bodies that house condemned souls, and others say the tides of spring is when they come through. So just depends on the story. I feel more oral tales are 7 years because it gives time for them to have a lot of babies. 7 years, 7 children. Oh my god, it makes sense. Oh, sorry, I just made that connection in my brain. Oh, big brain mode. But in like written tales, they'll tend to do just like from one spring to another.
Yeah.
So regarding transformation, they must have their cloak so they can become a seal again and swim into the sea. To capture a Selkie, many will wait along the shorelines for one to appear and then snatch their skin for themselves. Though Selkies aren't violent, this is the only way to snag one of them as a partner. I'd highly encourage you not to do it. Selkie's heart belongs to the sea and whatever family they happen to have back home. Even if they get married and have children, once they do find their cloak, which will happen, they will run off into the sunset, swim back home with no promise of being seen again. Selkies are very go-with-the-flow creatures that are only tied down to their cloak. They're carefree, kind, sunsets, and they aren't known to be violent, so they'll just run away instead of picking a fight. I don't think I've read a single story about a Selkie throwing hands, which they should. So,
Yeah.
Selkie empowerment right there. I need some water real quick, sorry.
Must be nice.
Oh yeah, that sucks for you. People probably think I'm so mean to you, Ryan. I like how you said it so quiet too. Like you didn't think I'd hear it and remember it. All right, anywho, so I want to talk about something very important, and that is consent.
Here it is.
Here it is. So before I get into some of the different aspects of Selkie, I want to address the common plot patterns we have seen in these stories. It seems every storyline we read now revolves around a male that will steal the seal skin of a Selkie woman and make her his bride. But did you know that the old tales of Selkies talk about the men and how they would sweep women off their feet? Selkie men would go out of their way to comfort human women that were going through it. Women that were dissatisfied with their lives, lonely, or longed for a sailor or fisherman husband that was...
More like a fish man.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for pointing that out in case it wasn't obvious. Oh no, it's fine. Like we'll get back to it. We'll get back to Fishman thing. So they're longing for their sailor fisherman husband, which they knew would never truly return. And that's when the Selkie men were like, "'Tis time." So Some believed shedding several tears into the sea would summon the male Selkie, and he would comfort her and make her his bride, amongst other things, having her become a Selkie and living a life with him out at sea.
Oh.
Now, this is the perfect plot for a modern day smut tale. But
Kind of
the
is.
people of the times weren't quite ready. And they got more behind the idea of a beautiful seal woman being taken in as a prisoner by a lonely, lonely man.
Yeah.
So, though this tale was more romantic at the time and the red flags were seen behind rose-colored glasses, looking at it now, it's clear to see these tales have problems. Like the whole holding a woman against her will and forcing her to marry you with a bunch of children kind of thing. However, there is a silver lining. The fact that she will always find her cloak and will always return to the sea. So regardless if it's a male or female Selkie, they are both beautiful creatures who will return to the ocean because that's where their heart truly belongs. So overall, if you didn't catch that, the whole thing, consent's key. Don't kidnap your bride or spouse or partner.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Because they're just going to run into the ocean and turn your children into rocks.
Yep, that's moral of the story.
That's the moral.
Selkie and the Rock children. So now we love the idea of a mystical, beautiful sea lion creature sweeping us off our feet. But there's a theory that Selkies are just human. So it's believed that early settlers of Scotland actually encountered and married the Finnish and Sami women who were misidentified as Selkies. Now, if you're wondering how, well, it has a lot to do with their sealskin kayaks and clothing and their long jet black hair. Plus, since their kayaks would often become waterlogged, they'd have to pull out onto the nearest shore and set their sealskin clothing to dry before continuing onwards. So this is where we get the whole naked lady with her skin next to her kind of thing going on. So when the early settlers came along, the combination of being stuck at sea for weeks at a time, poor eyesight, being thirsty as hell, and legends of a beautiful sea human creature just made sense. And it's also possible that the traditions concerning the Selkies may have been due to the due to the misinterpreted sightings of the Finmen. The Inuit wore clothes that used kayaks were both made from animal skin, so they were both made from seal. The clothes and kayaks would lose buoyancy when saturated and would need to be dried out. It is a thought that the sighting of them, like sitting naked, the men naked, and their clothes there, they're like, oh, these better be Selkies too. So there's this whole idea that they aren't real, they were just the natives doing what they do kind of thing, which is pretty cool and explains like their appearance. So I really like that theory, and I tend not to like the non-mystical theories. So that one was a fun.
That makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah, that was one where I was like, you got me though. So not only is there the idea that Selkie could just be the natives of Scotland, but either the church or science is going to have a say in it. Ryan, do you know what time it is?
Is it science or the church?
Time for, is it science or the church?
Okay.
Now listen.
Okay.
I think you got it last time. Did you get it last time?
I don't think I did. I got it the
But
time
you got
before.
the time before.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's sandwich it.
Okay.
From all you know, from what I've told you, I haven't gone into a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think science or the church is going to say
We
what
haven't had
Selkies
a single bit of religion brought up. So I'm going with science today.
If we had our soundboard, you could ring it for the gold star.
Did I get it?
Yeah, you got it! Oh my
I
goodness.
do kind of have a soundboard. Let's go.
I want to make like a little sound effect for when I do that section because it just feels right. Yeah, the moment we've all been waiting for. Yes, this is it. Ryan's done it. Ryan has guessed it right. So before modern medicine, there were many physical conditions that weren't treatable. As a result, children born with abnormalities were said to be a result of fairies or magic. So the idea that when a Selkie and a human mated, they created these human babies with webbed hands and feet was easier to explain at the time, but today science has an answer for it. It's believed it wasn't magic, but what we call, I want to say it so wrong, Syndachili? Syndachili. That's wrong.
This?
But I'll explain it so you guys can Google it.
Syndicatal?
Oh my gosh, that makes so much more sense.
Syndicatal.
Yeah, that feels better. Syndicatal. Which is a hereditary growth of skin between fingers that makes the hands look like flippers. It can also look like fingers or toes that are completely or partially united. So, though this helps explain one aspect of baby Selkies, it honestly doesn't explain a whole lot else. Like the whole magically transforming into a seal part. But it explains like the one physical trait, because the only other physical trait Selkies have is that they're just beautiful. So
it's syndactyl.
Syndactyl?
Yeah, syndactyl.
Wow. Thank the Lord I'm not any of your guys' doctors, because you'd be treated like you're in the American healthcare system.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Respect your nurses, by the way. They work really hard.
Yeah. But not your insurance provider.
But your insurance provider is a different story. So
moving on.
So, of all of these ideas of what Selkies could and couldn't be, there was one common belief amongst everyone that heard legends of these sea lions, and it's their connection to sea lion hunting.
Oh.
So, this is really interesting. So when the people of the Scottish Isles would fall upon hard times, they had to find other means of gathering food and supplies. Sadly, this resulted in sea lion hunting, which became a huge problem and was a big taboo in these regions. Seals would be killed so people could use their skin and blubber. With this connection of seals with Selkies, lore said much misfortune would follow anyone that went about these means to survive. So, local sailors and fishermen would tell tales of a strange man with a distinctive scar by the coast. These men would address the sailors or fishermen by their first name, without no introductions, and hot, and warns them, says their name, like, I don't know, Jeremy, and then says, don't attack seals in the future or you'll be cursed, and then goes back to the sea like a hot premonition of what is to come. And
I had a similar situation at Long Beach one time.
Did you really?
No. This naked dude just came out of the ocean. It was wild.
Did he have an alluring Roma, and was he tall, dark, and handsome?
There was nothing alluring about my situation.
Did you feel fear? That's another attribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Where was I? I got distracted by hot, sulky sailormen. Oh, sorry, you guys, I really lost my place. So it's assumed the scars are from past wounds inflicted upon the seals from people that tried to hunt them down before. So it makes it even that much more intimidating. There are also many legends of the conquest from the consequences that tried to hunt them. Let me try that again. Sorry, Chris. There are also many legends of the consequences from harming or killing Selkies. So one is a bunch of crofters, which means farmers, and their herd of sheep. One summer, a group of them brought their sheep to graze upon a small home within the Orkney Islands. One of the men gathered up 7 of his sheep. Seven.
Yeah,
I keep seeing 7, and I didn't connect the dots. I feel like that scene from Always Sunny with the notes and the strings. What does
Seven's
it mean?
everywhere.
Seven's everywhere. So he got his 7 sheep, placed them in a large home, and he left, only to come back after successfully killing a sea lion on his hunting trip. He was quite proud with a little skip in his step, but that wouldn't last long. Later that night, all of his sheep had disappeared. But all the other crofter's sheep, the ones who didn't kill a seal, had them all accounted for. So that's a little like, ooh, what happened to the sheep?
Yeah.
I like to think there's like a kind of gang rivalry energy between the sea lions and the sheep, and they're just like waiting for the other to cross it. You know what I mean?
Sheepskin, seal skin.
Yeah. That's it. That's the one right there. Oh, jeez. And so the next legend is a traditional folk ballad warning people of the dangers of sea lion hunting and its curse. It tells of a woman who nurses a baby and laments that she doesn't know where the child's father is or who he is. A Selkie man then appears and claims the baby as his own son. Because if you learn anything from this, is the Selkie man is the man. Like, if you're wanting a man, you should really look into Selkie men.
Go cry into the ocean, ladies.
Go cry into the ocean. That's all you need to do. 7 tears. That's it. You'll be there.
Yep.
And so he leaves the baby with the mother for a few months or a few years before coming to claim the child and take it to the sea with him. To remind the child of home, she places a gold chain around its neck. And then when the Selkie returns to mother, he takes the child but hands her a bag of gold. So it's kind of clear in the story she doesn't want this kid, but he's like, I will adopt this kid is a good way to think of it. Like, you do your whole nursing, feeding, whatever kind of thing, and then I'll take it, and then you don't gotta worry about it, but I'll still tell him about you.
Yeah.
Kind of situation going on, which everyone's gotta do what they gotta do. So I like that there's still happy ending for the kid in this. Yeah. Well, I mean, I spoke too soon.
Selkie men sound great.
Selkie men.
It's the human men in the story that are a little.
Yes. Selkies are great.
A little questionable.
100%. So before leaving, he does warn her that she will eventually marry a hunter who will kill both him and the child. Time passes, and she honestly forgets. She's like, there's no way that's true, blah, 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 blah. But time comes and she does marry a hunter. And she warns him, do not go for the seals. Do not kill the seals, because she does know that could be her Selkie husband and her child, right?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't listen to her, as apparently all the men in the story don't listen to any of the women in the story. And he comes back home one day with 2 dead seals and a gold chain around his neck that once belonged to her son.
That's sad.
So it's a very sad story, and though these tales are quite tragic, they all leave one hell of an impression, help spread the message of just leaving these creatures alone.
Yeah. Seals are just vibing out there.
Look
Let
at them.
vibe.
Look at this picture.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Look at that.
I'm feeling that really far one that looks like a pancake mode. That's the seal I'm feeling like today.
Yeah.
Right on the edge of the cliff, still up there.
Yeah.
But she holding on, and she's sleeping. So, to this day, many believe in the legend of the beautiful Selkie and use it as a means to prevent sea lions hunting. It also is a great way of how not to get a wife and to teach people about the importance of consent. My hope one day is I'll be able to visit Scotland and see a Selkie with my own 2 eyes. And no, I will not be snatching their skin. If anything, I may cry 7 tears into the water so they can tell me a good old story about their adventures at sea. And that is my section. And now it's Ryan's. Ryan's turn?
Yep.
Modern Takes.
Welcome to Modern Takes with Ryan. And first, I'm gonna start off a little light here, and then we're gonna get into some more serious stuff. So, quick quick little thing. If you're interested in a movie that's like accurate for Selkies, you're gonna look up The Song of the Sea, which is an Irish animation. Beautiful movie, has an Irish folk band in it. Yeah, go watch it. So this is where we have everybody listening, please sit down. If you're driving, pull over. If you're walking, like, find a bench. All right, we need to have a real talk about what y'all are posting on the internet. Because MH likes the movie. Good. Okay. So do you know how hard it is to search for Selkies on the internet in 2022? Y'all are some horny motherfuckers. Excuse my French, but come on. We're talking pages of just the most wild shit I've seen in my entire life, and Kimmy can vouch. It's a lot.
I saw so much male Selkie junk.
So much Selkie junk.
Of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I didn't even look up anything bad.
Yeah.
I literally, because I didn't know there's a difference between female and male Selkies, right?
I found out really fast.
I found out. So, well, like, at first I was like, oh, that's like kind of some steamy, deviant art stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's deviant art,
yes.
right? And then I was like, oh, there's such thing as male Selkies. I typed in Google on my lunch break on my work server, male Selkie folklore. Listen, that's a safe search. I have searched some sketchy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I typed that in, and the amount of male erotica that came up
off the rails. Now, I do want to say there is nothing wrong with a little bit of erotica out there, a little bit of personal time, but calm down, chill out. There's enough. There's enough.
Listen, and the thing is, they knew their target audience.
They did.
It was
Kimmy
the funniest
has
thing.
terabytes saved on her computer now, guys. Like, we're talking hard drives.
It's a folder in a folder in a folder in a folder, right?
It says secret. Don't open. Please don't open. Please don't open. And then you click on it, and
your fault. And then you go to
you
it.
Did this to yourself.
But no, it was so funny because all the covers were the same. It's just like a shirtless guy with long black hair that's as smooth as a dolphin, and then so many of them had a picture of a baby in it, and I didn't even read it, but I could tell you exactly what that one was going to be about, because it was gorgeous man and then human baby with the cutest smile. It's like, and I need you to know, after doing my research, I was on good old Facebook, and you know how social media just follows everything we do?
Yeah.
I was getting ads for all this erotica books with baby making, and like it had babies on it. It was like aliens and babies, and what were the other? I was like,
I cannot wait to see what your TikTok for you page looks like for the next couple of weeks.
Oh no,
because
I'm not.
It's just TikTok knows everything.
I'm not going on it.
That's probably for the best.
I feel safe not being on social media until I finish researching the next cryptid story, because there was so much, and kudos to the dedication, because I didn't see a single female Selkie erotica, but it was just all male Selkie. So I'm saying, if you guys need to invest some Bitcoin or stock or whatever, how that works, Selkie erotica may be.
Invest now is what we're saying.
Maybe.
All right.
Okay. Wow. Oh, I'm glad I got that off. I just saw so much I can't unsee.
No, I didn't do nearly as much research as you, as is standard, and I saw enough.
Yeah, no,
on
I
page
didn't.
1 of Google Images.
No, I didn't even have to
say.
scroll.
You don't even
That's
gotta
when you know
load
it's
more.
bad. It's just
That's the wild part.
the first 12 was like, so that's what the search is going to be, and you're just like, no, that's enough internet today.
That is more than enough. All
Right. Oh, lore and alignment chart. Oh no, we have announcements, lore report stuff we gotta talk about. Yeah, I didn't write them because again, flailing on the back of the ship, holding to the life ring kind of thing.
You gonna wing it like I winged the mid-roll ad?
Yeah.
Right, cool.
That's what we're gonna do. That's
like
the energy we've created, and we're gonna just stick with it.
Take it away.
Announcements. We have a P.O. box. Mail us stuff. We'll mail you things back. Please send your Selkie mail erotica books.
Yeah, I'll read all of it. If you send it, that could be a Patreon exclusive video right there. Ryan
there it is.
Reads folklore erotica.
Request.
Yes.
If someone does that and we do get it, you have to sit in front of a fireplace with like the robe and the smoke.
I have
you know
a
what I
fireplace
mean?
in my house. Done.
Easy. Your dreams of Ryan reading you a Selkie mail erotica could come true.
Yep.
If you send it to our P.O. box. Or if you just like want to send us a letter saying you like the show, you'll get like a cool little sticker from me, maybe. Who knows? Hint, hint. So that is on our website. So you'll go check out our website at aloreing.com. We have it on our contact page. And while you're there, check out our website. It's pretty cool. It's all animated and stuff. Like, I made it look super cool, and Ryan helped make sure it sounds good by reading over it and making sure links work.
And make sure they work. Kimmy did all of it.
Yeah.
And
Ryan,
don't let her fool you.
Ryan is very holding the sanity of the website, and I just throw the pictures on it.
Look, I'm just a pretty face that reads things.
Perfect.
I am not the talent in this podcast.
You say that as you propose the reading erotica idea, so I think you're being a little...
Like I said, pretty face that reads stuff. That's all I'm talking about.
Know what you're about, but hey, check out our website. We have links so you can join our Discord channel. We'd love for you to join. You can post cryptid folklore memes. Yeah. You can chat with us. That's pretty cool. And we got our Patreon. If you want to give us money because you love us, and you think Ryan has a pretty face, you should go to Patreon and give us some Benjamins. We do bonus content, which is pretty cool. We're going to get better with that.
It does not cost a Benjamin to join our Patreon.
No.
Quite less than a Benjamin. All right.
That's such a stupid joke. He always make it. The room's getting hot, and we've talked so much about Selkie.
Let's go to the alignment chart. Let's just get go. Oh wait, this was my photo for Modern Days.
Oh, what was your photo?
I forgot.
Oh Lord, give me strength.
I forgot to switch it.
Oh no.
Is it
appropriate?
See it here in a second. That's fine. I'm gonna move on to the alignment chart. All right.
I like it.
This is what we got.
I love it.
So
okay.
I think I see the situation here, Kimmy.
Okay.
I think me and you have a different understanding of lawful and chaotic. I think that's the problem. Because when I think Selkie, I think, wants to live by their own, like, they're free, they're just living out in the water. So they don't have, like, rules. They don't have, like, masters, so they're chaotic. Which chaotic isn't bad. It just means you don't follow a set of guidelines. So that's why I put it at chaotic good.
Fair. Now, counter argument. They have very strict rules on when they can go on land, how long they can be on land, and they're always tied to their skin. So
But that's biology. That's not laws.
I feel okay. I don't want to say you're right when you're right. But I was very tired, and
Yeah.
when I think ones are hot, I kind of just automatically gravitate towards, and I didn't put them at super lawful. I kind of did it down because they seem like they follow the rules of whatever's going on till they can get their skin. You know what I mean?
So, yeah. Okay. But we both agree, very good, human bad.
Yes. Yeah. So if we were to have one for the male humans of
Chaotic.
this story, it would be very chaotic,
This is really in
And-
general.
very evil. Yeah. But they don't think they are.
Yeah.
So they would think that they're actually where mine currently is.
Yeah.
Which
Which that's a whole podcast in itself.
yeah, I'm not doing podcast anytime soon.
Well, we'll see, Kimmy. All right. You want to do? Let's do some mother freaking takeaways.
Yeah. Don't kidnap your wife.
That's a good one.
It's a really good one.
Mine is a little long-winded, but
Okay.
if you're a child with 6 siblings, so you have 7 siblings, make sure you're the least favorite so that when your mother turns her favorites into rocks, you're good to go.
Okay. Be the least favorite of 7 children so you don't turn into a rock.
Yes.
And don't kidnap a naked woman to be your bride.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'd
That's
say
our
those are
takeaways.
solid takeaways.
Great takeaways.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. This has been Aloreing.
You just have an Aloreing day, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
And now that the episode's over, shout out to YouTube chat. What's up, everybody? Hello. Thank you for so much for listening. We hope our unedited, off the rails wildness was not too much, and we hope see y'all next week, hopefully.
Yeah. And remember that we post an edited version, which is more condensed.
Yeah.
Less chaotic. Still chaotic. Less chaotic.
Yeah.
And on our audio thing, so go check it out. Even
Yeah.
if you just play it in the background to help our listens, like, we super appreciate that too.
Yeah. Lil
Yeah.
McFlower says, I make a good point. Thank you, Lil McFlower. I don't know how delayed your thing is, but I hope that was about my takeaway. Because I think it was a good point too. MH says, y'all are swag. Agreed.
Aw, that was so fun. This has been our most active chat yet.
Yeah.
And you guys have just been absolutely lovely. So thank you. We hope you have the most wonderful evening and everything.
Bye, chat.
Bye.